Welcome to As the Story Grows. I'm Brian Patton. Today we welcome Johannes and Matthias Clemens from German thrash metal band Warfield to the podcast. Warfield's Napalm Records debut, With the Old Breed, came out last Friday. The brothers talk about growing up in Kaiserslautern, the ease in which Warfield formed, why they were drawn to thrash, the themes that now guide the band's name and new album, and more. I'm a big fan of With the Old Breed. Who would have thought that at the age of 40 in 2025, I would be getting into thrash metal for the first time, but here we are. So make sure you check out With the Breed wherever you get your music. Thanks so much for listening to As the Story Grows. If you're brand new to the podcast, welcome. Thanks for listening. You can find links in our show notes for our mailing list, for our Discord server, or for our Patreon page where you can support the show and get early access to every episode. Also, today we are celebrating 10 years of As the Story Grows, which is insane. I've been host of this show since 2018, and I've been working on the podcast since 2016. So it's nearly 9 years of my life that I've invested into this podcast, and it's quite wild to think that the podcast is now 10 years old. We are over 600 episodes. This is chapter 601. So I want to say thank you so much for those who have listened from the beginning with Travis, to those who are new to the podcast, who have just come aboard the last month, the last year, the last few years. Thank you for being a part of this journey and for supporting the podcast, whether that's leaving a comment on YouTube, whether that's liking and leaving a review on Apple, whether that's supporting via Patreon or being a part of Discord or the mailing list. I thank you for being a part of this podcast. And I have a special message from the founder and original host of the podcast, Travis Turner.
Brian, I just wanted to say congratulations on 600 episodes and 10 years for this thing. I kind of can't believe you're still going, man. More power to you. I love you. And everybody who's supported and still listening to the show, thank you from the guy who started it. Hope you love Brian as much as I do, man. Good job. Take care. Bye-bye.
Huge shout out to Travis for sending in that audio clip. I hit him up last minute and was like, hey, do you want to say something for the 10th anniversary? And he was kind enough to share that clip. So thanks, Travis. Enjoy today's conversation with Warfield. If I look at your Bandcamp page, it says you're from Kaiserslautern. Am I pronouncing that right?
Yeah, it's actually quite good.
Yeah.
Pronouncement.
Yeah. I looked it up on the map, a little bit. I don't know. It feels like it's in the middle of nowhere a little bit. Is that correct?
Yeah, it's close to the French border. But not the big French towns, and not the closest bigger town is maybe Mainz or Frankfurt. It's over an hour away. So yeah, you're kind of right. It's in the back land of the country, but we like it.
What was growing up like?
Yeah, we had a good childhood. We grew up in a small village. Next to Kaiserslautern, and a lot of how you imagine it, a lot of nature and good stuff.
I mean, you two are brothers. How far apart are you in age?
2 years, 2.5 years. Yeah, so it's a good gap, I guess. Yeah. Yeah. In our childhood, we did all the stuff together, and now we do the same. So.
Johannes, are you the older brother or younger brother?
No, I'm the younger brother.
So, Matthias, how much influence over him and his musical fandom and direction did you have?
I don't know if I had a huge influence. I mean, we kind of developed our musical taste at the same time, I guess, because we have the same group of friends, and so it kind of grew together, I would say. Yeah.
Nice. What got you each into music, and I mean, maybe specifically, what got you into metal?
Well, first of all, I guess our mother, because she listened to Rammstein, so that was like the first contact we had with metal, sort of, and then certainly Dominic's father, so the father of our drummer, is probably the biggest Iron Maiden fan you can imagine. So it was early on that we listened to Maiden as well. So kind of developed from there.
Nice. At what point did you pick up instruments, and was there kind of like a collective decision, like one of you had to play guitar, one of you had to play bass to be in a band?
I guess Domi played drums. He was the first of us who played the instrument, and then I think he wanted to quit, but that was the time when I wanted to start guitar, and I was talking to him since we are hanging around all the time. I was talking to him. Maybe we could start a band or something, and that's how it started. Yeah, and it was obvious that Johannes did the vocals, and later on he took over the bass guitar.
Yeah, I think Domme started playing drums at like, I don't know, 8 or 9 years old, 7 maybe, I don't know, 9. So pretty early. And then Matze, I think, how old were you? Like 12 or something when you started?
I think 14.
14. Yeah. And when we started as a band, I only took over the vocals for a long time. And then in 2012, I decided, okay, we need, like you said, we need what are we missing? We are missing a bass. So I learned to play the bass, and then very funny, in the first session I took, we met our future bass player, who then took over the bass, so I didn't have to. But then a couple of years later, I eventually took over the bass as well. So yeah, was worth it.
Kind of changes. Yeah.
Well, I mean, was it vocals just out of like you didn't have any other instrument and you're just like, I'll sing, or did you know you had some sort of talent to scream? Or
yeah, I think a mixture. I had always it was always fun to me to sing. I liked it very much. So it was like a conscious decision to be the singer. And I had a acoustic guitar, but I didn't play like professionally, or didn't learn it until years later. So, and then Matthias took over the guitar. So I thought, okay, that's his part anyway. So yeah.
You guys are kind of lucky you have this built-in friendship, brotherhood to form this band, but you're in a small town. As a band, or as just fans of metal, what was the scene like? Where were you having to travel to play shows or see shows and like be a part of the metal community?
Yeah, we were lucky to have Saarbrücken, which is pretty big town, like an hour away from us, where they have a location where all the thrash bands visit every year. So this is a very lucky thing for us. So we in early years, with like 14, 15, 16, we saw all the greats in this venue. We saw like Overkill and Anthrax and Exodus. These were our first concerts, some of the first concerts. And yeah, I mean, Kaiserslautern, It's a bit underestimated because it's has a lot of music tradition, and I don't know if you know the punk band the Sperm Birds. They're also from Kaiserslautern, and the power metal band called Vandenpless. They're also from this town. So there are a few spots where you could play. Nowadays it's a bit that some of them has closed down, sadly. But I think in Germany in general we're pretty lucky to have a metal scene where you can play gigs.
Yeah, and the distances are not that far away, so it's easy to drive an hour, and then you're basically in every direction. There's I would say a club in at least 1 hour.
Yeah. Was there something, whether it's just going to see bands like Exodus and Anthrax, or was there something else specifically about thrash metal that drew you guys to that genre?
Yeah, I think it's the energy that connected with us. Somehow we listened to hard music and we noticed that, okay, I don't know why we like it. It's always difficult. It's a feeling more, and and we listened to our drummer's dad. He also listened to Slayer and Exodus, so he showed us, and we were like, oh man, this is badass, and you feel powerful while listening to it, and then you feel powerful while playing it yourself, maybe even more powerful because it's you that are creating the music. So I think this is maybe you can let it all out in this kind of musical direction, and this is for us, this is the good stuff about thrash metal.
Yeah, and I think the first band we got introduced by Dominic was Slayer, and I remember that when I was listening to it at first, it was like I was surprised about the vibe. It was so evil. It was nothing I have ever heard before, and it was more like, okay, this is interesting. I don't know if I like it, but it's interesting. And then when you understand it and you can you get the rhythms, and then it's the energy, it's the drive. But yeah, I think in thrash metal, when you first get confronted with it, it's more about the shock,
Yeah.
Wall of sound. Yeah.
Yeah. I've talked to a number of European bands over the years, and my sense is I've been told I was wrong. But in Germany alone, like the metal scene is such a big tent. Is it open where people are kind of fans of every genres, or is it, the thrash metal fans like thrash metal and the death metal fans are here and the hardcore kids are here, or is it more just like everybody gets in a room and you just like metal?
That's a good question. I think there are both kind of people, but we certainly over the years experienced that there is some kind of like elite thing. I only listen to that and I only listen to that, and sadly that's also the case here. So like I said, not always, but sometimes it happens, and and then you play. We played recently. We played in front of the Exploited in Frankfurt. So this is punk, and we are a thrash band, and it merged perfectly, and the people were like, "Oh yeah," the whole time. So this is basically every time when good music that makes you feel something comes together. Even I don't know, we could play at a techno festival and maybe some people could connect, because it's the same kind of, it gives you power, it gives you energy. And I'm convinced that the genre doesn't really matter then.
What was the inspiration for the band name?
Yeah, this was the Slayer DVD War at the Warfield, where they played the Warfield in San Francisco, I think, the location. We just thought, that sounded very cool, and let's take it. in the meanwhile, it has become, or it has like loaded itself with symbolism as well. So I always thought of it like we put every topic we sing about or write about, we put it on the Warfield and depict it and criticize it. So I think it's fitting, and it's fitting to the hard style of music as well.
There is a road breaking down the tree. It is the net breaking truth of society. The love is time with the rotten cuts.
Wrecking Command comes out in 2018. You guys are finally releasing the follow-up here in 2025. Outside of like a global pandemic and I imagine some label delays, what took so long to release that follow-up?
Yeah, it's quite a long time. I mean, the songs were basically done, I guess, in 2022 or 23, I guess. But then the pandemic hit, and also before it was kind of everyday life. You know, we did our how you call it, the graduations and. That kind of stuff, and also, we had to deal with some personal issues as well. But I think we were not stressed about it, or we try to be not stressed about it, and just go in our own pace. And I think at the end it was a good choice to handle it that way.
Yeah, but we wanted it to come out even earlier, of course. You know, there were a couple of things we had to do for the first time and experience a whole start at the beginning. So, for example, we did pre-recordings for the first time. We didn't do this at the first album. Then we were searching for fitting studio. Then we were trying to figure out time tables, and we had to go to 2 studios and then go back to the first studio to have the mix done. Searching for a new label, luckily finding a new label, which we're very happy about. But then the label, of course, has their own release plans further ahead, you know. So that's why we released the single "Tie the Rope" in early 2023, I think. No, 24. Because at this time we were finished. So, and the album's coming out over a year later. So this kind of shows you it's not only and always the band, even though of course it's a band as well, but we wanted it to come out earlier, but there you go. Anyway.
Speaking of new labels, you guys are on Napalm Records. I mean, that's a huge deal. How'd you get connected with Napalm?
It was a coincidence that we were playing with a band called Knife at the show in Freiburg in Germany, and we got along pretty well, and like after show party, and we came to talk about we're writing a new album, and they were on the Napalm Records, and they were talking a bit like how it is and what they do. And this was like then stayed in the back of our minds, and we searched for labels that could fit on a personal level as well, because that was very important for us. And we looked up which bands are under which label, so we have to fit in the musical direction of the label also. And then we wrote like we did an EP. How's it called? EPK, electronic press kit.
Yeah.
With the already finished songs, mixed songs, album cover. It was all, like I said, it was all prepared and finished by that point. And we were lucky that the guys from Napalm all liked it, and then had a couple of video calls with them, and we saw, okay, this feels good, and let's try it. Let's do it.
Yeah, it's probably super helpful that the record was done and mixed, and they're not like looking to shell out a bunch of money to do it. Yeah, Album is called With the Old Breed. Where'd that title come from? And is there any sort of like lyrical themes and concepts that you were drawing upon when writing this album?
The album title comes from a book written by Eugene Sledge. He was one guy. He fought in the Pacific War, and I watched the series The Pacific, and I was heavily influenced by that. I found it they had a great vibe, huge inspiration for the song, and also for some other songs. And so yeah, but also the song title is where you can interpret it very in a broad way. With the old breed, it fits to the old school style. It fits to the message we want to deliver. Grow from hardship and adversity and stuff like that. That's all. I think hidden beneath that title, and I think there's also a lot of lyrical topics for the album, but also what's going on in the mind of the soldier. So we took a deep dive there, and
When you're writing this album or any album, or when the band's getting started, are there ever conversations about like writing songs in German, or is it always just like because the music you grew up listening to is in English, is like, you're automatically thinking about writing in English?
Yeah, we hadn't had this discussion yet, but it's interesting that you're saying it, because I was actually thinking about it. It would be interesting because a lot of other, or Sodom, for example, did that with a few songs, and it worked out. So would be interesting to try. Who knows? But as far as for now, we haven't thought about that. It was always we listened to a lot of English speaking bands, and that's why we wrote the lyrics in English.
Album's out tomorrow. You guys have only a handful of shows announced on your website. What's your plan for this year, and kind of how you're taking this record on the road or looking to promote it?
Yeah, it's all in the planning right now. We try to play as much shows as possible, and we're working together with District 19, our touring agency, and there are a couple of things planned, and right now we have to sort out which we can do when. And this is but we certainly hope for even more shows, because we want to take this album out there and play live. It's for us always the best thing you can do, to be present in as much countries and towns, cities as possible. Yeah.
I mean, what's the touring circuit like, whether it's in Germany or Europe, for metal bands? Is there kind of like, I know in America, there are like certain venues in states you're going to see every band go to all the time. Is it kind of similar in Europe, or is it just like more scattershot? And
I would say there are a couple of location institutions. So there are a couple of, for example, a dream for us would be to play in Zeche Karl, maybe, or in Bochum, where the like Sodom started and so on. I think they're still playing concerts there. There are a couple of famous clubs in Germany where we haven't played yet, so the list is long. And also, if you talk about festivals, this is a huge advantage for European bands, or for Europe, but we have these festivals everywhere in every country. So we're really eager to play on these as much as possible. Yeah, if you like want to feel energy while listening to music, and so maybe doesn't matter if you feel bad or good. If you listen to our music, we hope to like lift you up and make you feel powerful, and just turn up the volume and start mosh pit in your own living room, or I don't know. And we hope that you have fun with the album. Comes out tomorrow. It's insane that it finally happens. And we're super excited.